Hey everyone, Vishwajit here. Let's be real for a second. We've all got those little habits we know aren't doing us any favors, the ones we try to ignore hoping they'll magically disappear. But what if I told you that a few small habits are quietly destroying your happiness and success? We're talking about the stuff that eats away at your productivity, tanks your mood, and leaves you feeling totally drained. And the worst part? You might not even realize these habits are hijacking your life. But don't worry, I'm not just going to leave you hanging. In this video, we're going to break down 5 common habits that could be holding you back, and I'm going to give you actionable strategies to turn things around. Let's break them down and learn how to turn things around. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or maybe it's more like the smartphone in your hand. Doom scrolling. We've all been there, right? That endless cycle of scrolling through bad news and negative posts. You open up Twitter or refresh the news, and suddenly you're bombarded with negativity. It's like a never-ending stream of bad news, disasters, and conflicts. It's like voluntarily stepping into a mental hurricane of anxiety and despair. And the worst part? We keep going back for more. And the crazy thing is, our brains are wired to focus on the negative. It's not just a bad habit, it's a survival mechanism. It's this primal instinct called the negativity bias, and it's meant to protect us from danger. Back in the day, it helped us stay alert to threats. But in today's world, that constant influx of bad news can do more harm than good. Our brains haven't evolved to handle this 24/7 barrage of negativity. Think about it. Every time you scroll through a feed of negativity, you're essentially flooding your brain with stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, the works. It's like putting your body in a constant state of fight or flight. Over time, this can lead to serious issues like anxiety, depression, and even sleep problems. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. And let's be honest, who can crush their goals when they're running on fumes and feeling defeated? It's tough to stay motivated and productive when you're constantly drained. So how do we break free from the doom scrolling cycle? It starts with awareness and a conscious effort to change our habits. First things first, set those screen time limits. It's a simple step, but it can make a big difference. Most smartphones have built-in features to help you monitor and restrict your usage. Use them to your advantage. Start small, maybe cut back by 30 minutes a day, and gradually increase it over time. You'll be surprised at how much better you feel. Next up, let's replace that negativity with something positive. Find activities that uplift you and bring joy to your life. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, try reading a book, listening to a podcast, or learning a new skill. These activities can be both relaxing and enriching. Feed your mind with things that inspire you, motivate you, and make you feel good. It's all about creating a positive mental environment. Remember, you have the power to choose what you consume. Be mindful of your choices and prioritize your mental well-being. Don't let doom scrolling steal your joy and sabotage your success. Take control, make positive changes, and watch your life transform for the better. Okay, let's talk about another habit that's holding you back. Procrastination. It's something we've all struggled with at some point, and it can be a major roadblock to achieving our goals. We all do it, but why do we sabotage ourselves by putting things off until the last minute? The answer lies in understanding our brain's wiring and how it responds to different stimuli. It all comes down to our brain's reward system and that sneaky little neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine is responsible for making us feel good, and it plays a crucial role in our motivation and pleasure-seeking behaviors. You see, when we anticipate a reward, like the feeling of accomplishment after finishing a task, our brains release dopamine. This release makes us feel good and encourages us to repeat the behavior. But here's the catch. We get a bigger dopamine hit from immediate gratification. This means that activities providing instant pleasure, like scrolling through social media or watching TV, can be more tempting than working on long-term goals. So that quick scroll through Instagram or that extra episode of your favorite show, they provide an immediate dopamine boost, making them feel way more rewarding in the moment than tackling that big project. They feel way more rewarding in the moment than tackling that big project. This is why we often find ourselves procrastinating even when we know it's not in our best interest. But here's the thing. Procrastination isn't about laziness, it's about fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears can paralyze us and make it difficult to start or complete tasks. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears can paralyze us and make it difficult to start or complete tasks. And the longer we put something off, the bigger and scarier it seems in our minds. And the longer we put something off, the bigger and scarier it seems in our minds. This creates a vicious cycle where procrastination leads to more stress and anxiety, which in turn leads to more procrastination. So, how do we break free from the procrastination cycle? One word: action. Taking that first step, no matter how small, can make a huge difference. The hardest part is often just getting started. Once you begin, the task often seems less daunting, and you can build momentum from there. That's where the 5-minute rule comes in. Tell yourself you'll only work on the task for 5 minutes. That's it. This small commitment can help you overcome the initial resistance. Tell yourself you'll only work on the task for 5 minutes. That's it. Once those 5 minutes are up, you can stop if you want. But chances are, once you've broken through that initial inertia, you'll keep going. Once those 5 minutes are up, you can stop if you want, but chances are, once you've broken through that initial inertia, you'll keep going. This simple trick can be incredibly effective in getting you started. But chances are, once you've broken through that initial inertia, you'll keep going. Another powerful strategy is to break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. This makes the task seem less daunting and gives you a sense of progress along the way, which can be incredibly motivating. Celebrate those small wins, and you'll find yourself more motivated to keep going. Let's talk about multitasking, the art of doing multiple things badly. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness, but the truth is, our brains just aren't wired to juggle multiple tasks effectively. In fact, research has shown that multitasking can actually lower our productivity by up to 40%. Think about it. When you're trying to do multiple things at once, your attention is constantly being divided. This leads to context switching, which is the process of shifting your focus from one task to another. And every time you switch contexts, you lose time and mental energy. Not only that, but chronic multitasking can also increase stress levels, impair cognitive function, and even damage your brain in the long run. So what's the solution? Embrace the power of single tasking. One of the most effective ways to do this is through a technique called time blocking. This involves scheduling dedicated blocks of time for specific tasks. For example, you might block out an hour in the morning for focused work, 30 minutes in the afternoon for emails, and so on. The key is to eliminate distractions and give your undivided attention to one task at a time. Put your phone on airplane mode, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, and let your colleagues know you're in the zone. Alright, let's talk about something we all need but often sacrifice: sleep. It's something we tend to overlook in our fast-paced lives, but its importance cannot be overstated. I get it. We're all busy, and sometimes sleep feels like a luxury we can't afford. We push ourselves to the limit, thinking we can make up for lost sleep later. But here's the thing, sleep deprivation is a recipe for disaster. It's not just about feeling tired, it's about the long-term effects on your health and productivity. When you're sleep deprived, your brain simply can't function at its best. Your ability to concentrate, remember things, and make decisions is severely compromised. We're talking about impaired cognitive function, reduced reaction time, decreased creativity, and poor decision-making. These are critical skills for success in any field. And let's not forget about the emotional roller coaster that comes with sleep deprivation: irritability, mood swings, and increased stress levels. These can strain your relationships and overall well-being. Think of your brain like a smartphone. Just as your phone needs to be charged to function properly, your brain needs sleep to operate at its full potential. When you use your phone all day, the battery drains. Similarly, when you push your brain without giving it adequate rest, it starts to falter. Sleep is like plugging your brain in to recharge overnight. It's essential for maintaining mental and physical health. If you constantly deprive yourself of sleep, your brain's battery never gets a chance to fully recharge, and over time, this can lead to serious consequences. Chronic sleep deprivation has been linked to various health issues, including heart disease, diabetes, and even depression. So, how do we prioritize sleep in our busy lives? It starts with making a conscious effort to value sleep as much as we value our work and other commitments. It starts with creating a consistent sleep schedule. This means going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. Go to bed and wake up around the same time each day, even on weekends, to regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle. This helps your body get into a rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up naturally. Next, establish a relaxing bedtime routine. This can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. This could include taking a warm bath, reading a book, or engaging in other calming activities that help you relax, or listening to calming music. The key is to create a peaceful environment that promotes relaxation. The key is to signal to your brain that it's time to wind down. This helps you transition from the busyness of the day to a state of rest. And please, ditch the screens at least an hour before bed. The blue light emitted from electronic devices can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. The blue light emitted from electronic devices can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep. By reducing screen time before bed, you can help your body produce the melatonin it needs to fall asleep and stay asleep. Let's talk about a habit that might seem harmless on the surface, but can secretly sabotage your success: people pleasing. You want everyone to like you, so you say yes to every request, even if it means sacrificing your own time and energy. But here's the thing. Constantly putting others' needs before your own is a recipe for burnout. It's like running a marathon with no finish line. Eventually you're going to collapse. And when you're burnt out, you're no good to anyone, least of all yourself. So how do we break free from the people-pleasing trap? It starts with setting healthy boundaries. Learn to say no to requests that drain your energy or don't align with your priorities. Remember, it's okay to put your needs first. Another crucial aspect of overcoming people-pleasing is building self-confidence. When you believe in yourself and your worth, you're less likely to seek validation from others. Focus on your strengths, celebrate your accomplishments, and surround yourself with people who uplift and support you. Remember, you deserve to be happy and fulfilled. Don't let the fear of disappointing others hold you back from living your best life. So, there you have it, 5 common habits that could be secretly ruining your life. From doom scrolling and procrastination to multitasking, sleep deprivation, and people-pleasing, these habits can have a significant impact on your happiness, success, and overall well-being. But the good news is, you have the power to change. By implementing the strategies we've discussed, you can break free from these negative patterns and create a more fulfilling and successful life. Your habits shape your future, and small changes can make a huge impact. Which habit do you struggle with most? Let's talk in the comments.